Trigger chosen. Fired before pension vested after 30 years of service. I have spent most of my life trying to do right, doing my best to serve my family, my friends, and the company I helped build from nothing. I was a man of steady hand and honest work, the kind who believed that loyalty meant something, that if you put in the years, the work, the sweat, it would be recognized, rewarded even. I took pride in my job, in being dependable, in knowing that when the boss called, I answered. I remember the days when I was young and eager, thinking if I just worked hard enough, I'd be taken care of, that my effort would be enough to earn a quiet, simple retirement that I could look forward to. I was the kind of man who believed the promises made to him. My wife, my children, my co-workers, they all knew me as someone who kept his word, who showed up every day, who gave everything he had without complaint. Decades slipped by like a slow, familiar tide, each year adding lines to my face and wisdom to my mind. I watched friends retire, start new chapters, and I thought I was building my own quiet ending, a peaceful moment of rest after a life of service. But then, one day, without warning, it all fell apart. I remember that morning like a blow to the chest. I went into the office, expecting the usual routine, and was told my position had been eliminated. No farewell, no warning, just a cold letter in my hand that said my services were no longer needed. I was told my pension would be held up until I was 65, but the company had decided to cut me loose early, just shy of the finish line I had been running toward for 30 years. No explanation, no apology, just a cold, calculated decision made behind closed doors, as if I was nothing more than a number. I felt the sting of betrayal, sharp and clear as the first cut. I had given my best, put my trust in the system, believed I had earned my place, and now I was thrown out like an old coat no longer needed, left to wonder if the years I'd given meant anything at all. That day I sat in my quiet home, the silence heavy around me, feeling my stomach turn with a mixture of shame, grief, and a deep burning anger. I could smell the faint scent of my wife's cooking in the kitchen, but it all felt distant, like a memory from another life. I knew I had to act, even if I had no clear plan yet. I had to make sure they understood what I had lost, what they had taken from me. I spent days in silence, watching, listening, learning their moves, noting who really cared, who I could count on. I kept a record of every little thing, how they avoided my gaze, how the company executives sent vague messages, how the legal words felt like a slap. Somewhere in my mind, I was building my quiet storm, preparing for what was to come. I would not go quietly into the night. I kept my ears open for whispers, my eyes sharp for signs of weakness. I heard the rumors that the company was trying to replace older workers with cheaper, younger ones. I saw how they pushed me out, trying to erase my years of loyal service as if I was never part of their fabric. I felt my fists clench when I saw my name crossed out on old documents, my contributions minimized and forgotten. I knew I had to do something, but I wanted my revenge to be clear, dignified, rooted in truth. It had to sting more than any punch could. Show them that you can take a man's livelihood, but you can't erase his history. That's when I decided to write the story. I gathered everything, the old pay stubs, the emails, the witness accounts, and I kept my plan close. I talked little, moved quietly, letting my anger simmer beneath my calm surface. I knew I couldn't rush this. A battle won without patience is a battle lost. So I bided my time, watching them stumble, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I stayed strong, even when the nights were long and the weight of regret bore down like a stone on my chest. I remembered all the mornings I woke early, all the days I gave freely, and I vowed that this injustice would not be the end of my story. My moment came unexpectedly. They held a meeting, an attempt to dismiss my years as if I'd done something wrong, as if I had no right to fight back. I stood before them, my voice steady but heavy with years of quiet fury. I laid out every detail, every wrong I had endured, backed by the facts I had kept tucked away. I called out their betrayal, revealing how they had broken their promise, how they had sold my loyalty for a price. I told them I would not be silenced, that I deserved my pension, that I had earned my peace after 30 years of service. The room fell silent as I spoke, my words cutting through their pretenses like a blade. When I finished, I saw the shock in their eyes. Some knew I was right. Others realized they could no longer hide behind their lies. The truth I revealed was like sunlight piercing a dark cloud. It burned and exposed every lie they had told. And in that moment, I reclaimed a small piece of my dignity. The company had no choice but to honor my pension, to acknowledge that I had been wronged. I left that room knowing I had won something far greater than money. I had restored my honor, my voice, my right to be seen as a man of integrity. Now I walk away with my head held high, knowing I stood up for myself after all those years of being pushed aside, ignored, betrayed. I don't need their apology. I don't need their approval. I only need to know I made them pay for what they did. As I sit here today, on the porch, watching the sunset turn the sky a deep red, I feel a quiet peace settle over me. I have built my life on hard-won lessons, and I've learned that justice isn't always loud or sudden. It's the steady, unwavering truth that finally breaks through. If you respect a story well earned, like, share, and subscribe to this channel.